Like I had this one dream that when they told me they're like, oh, write a journal of your dreams. And it just like as soon as they said that, I was like, oh my gosh, this one dream. It just like popped in my head. I was like, oh my gosh, oh, like this one. Oh, okay. So what the dream is? I was driving down the road. I wasn't driving. Someone else was driving. Can't remember who it is, but I was driving down the road, and it was like one of those. It's like a road, and then you had like like a side road that could go off that that was blocked off with all these gates and like signs be like, oh, don't enter, the orange cones, you know what I mean, like very police like. So, and of course me and my friend, even in my dream I'm like, ah, fuck it. And so like we move the cones, and then we keep driving past this road, and then we go to, it's like a long, you know, those the what is it called, the long country roads that have okay, the long country roads that are all the way down, and then like it's all like mud and gravel and everything. So I go down there, and then there's these weeping willows, and weeping willows to me, I'm just like, oh, I love them because they're beautiful. But if like old wives' tale is, if they're taller than the house, then someone's gonna die in the house. So in my head, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I already know that there's death coming towards me because I already had this imagery in my head. I'm like, oh, I already know this. And so I come in there, and we're listening to this radio station, and it's like talking about how there's a killer on the loose, and he's just not killing people, he's killing everything. And as soon as we get to the house, we come out, and it's like one of those country houses with a big porch. There's weeping willows everywhere. We come outside, and there's just dead things everywhere. Like there's a cow in the tree, and it's just like cut open, and there's just like fox dead. You know what I mean? Like just dead things just hanging around everywhere, and you're just like, what the fuck? Oh my gosh, I cannot believe there's dead shit just like everywhere, and you're just like freaking out because you're like, everything around me is dead right now, and like hearing that, like I like remember this dream so crazy because I knew not to go inside the house. Like even in my dream, I was like, don't fucking go in there. That's not good. Do not go. Do not go in that house. Don't go in the house because if there's dead things hanging out of the tree, what do you think's gonna be inside? Like, if there's dead things in the tree, don't you think inside it's gonna be a lot worse? You know what I mean? Because it's closed in. Like this guy, like fucked up. Like I'm gonna kill some cows and then hang them in the tree. You know what I mean? Like fuck. And I just remember the person just like looking at me and being like, oh no. Like I don't remember who it is. I really wish I could, but the person just looked at me, and I just knew like that's not good. So we just jumped back in the car and like drove off, and I just remember being like, even in my dream, being like panicked because I knew of the imagery of the weeping willow, and like I guess the weeping willow thing, because that always freaked me out because I always wanted one in my house. Like I always wanted like I, you know, like your dream, like, oh, what would I want? Like what do I want my house to look like? Like what do I want in the plants or whatever? And I always wanted weeping willows because they're so pretty, and like the leaves are like little fingernails, like leaf fingernails that are just like, and but I just thought it was so pretty. And until someone was like, oh, you know the old wives' tale where if the weeping willow tree is taller than the person's house, then someone's gonna die in it. I was like, oh my god, I don't want a weeping willow anymore, even though they're beautiful and I love them. But if when I see a weeping willow now and it's in someone's yard and it's taller than the house, I start freaking out because I'm like, someone's gonna die. Like that's what I think. I'm just like, oh my gosh, someone's gonna die. Is everyone gonna be okay?